Good morning, Rizalyn. My name is Sophia Franco, and as a member of the same communication class, Ron thought it would be a good idea to interview you so that I can better inform the rest of the class about you. The purpose of this interview is that I would like to ask you some questions about your background, education, career experiences, goals, and some of your hobbies and interests in order to learn more about you and share this information with the rest of your class. I hope to see this information. I hope to use this information to help our class get a better understanding of who you are, as well as become more comfortable speaking to and with you. This interview should take roughly around 15 to 30 minutes. Are you available to respond to some questions at this time?
Yes.
Let's begin. First, I will be asking you some questions about your background.
Mhm.
According to your bio sheet, you moved to Vegas. When did this take place?
I moved in August 2018 after high school, and I was going there for college.
Okay. Was there a reason why you only attended for a year listed in your bio sheet? Only answer this if you're comfortable.
Um, I stayed there for a year because I was doing a major that I was interested in at the time, and towards the end, I just didn't like how the program was, so I changed, or I was getting very overwhelmed, and I decided to transfer it to UH to try and figure out what else I could do.
Okay. You mentioned that it was for college. Do you mind mentioning where you attended? Just the
I
university.
went to UNLV for a year and a half.
Do you have any family members who live in Hawaii? If so, who?
Um, I have a lot of family members that lives here. Like it's mainly my dad's side, and I actually live with my aunties and uncles. So we have like a pretty huge family here, I would say. And then my mom's family like lives somewhere else.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have a brother, a younger brother, and an older sister.
Can you please describe your relationship with your family in a couple of words?
Um, I would say that my family is very close. We like to include like everybody on like everything that we do. So if like we go out, we're like, oh, are you free? Like just to like have everybody like invited and all that. So like nobody feels left out. That and like everybody's so like close knit with each other. So it's like if someone just goes with like one other person's like, oh, how mean. But like we all joke about like all those things, but we all know like, oh, it's okay. But yeah, we're all very close with each other.
Um, is there any activity, like specific activities you do with your family?
Um, we have, or we used to have family dinners very often, like before COVID. Like we'd have Thursday dinners at my house, and like everybody would just like bring food, and like we'd play games, and like just like everybody hang out in one spot for like a couple hours, and then we disperse. And then it's like the next week again, it's like a routine. But like now because of like COVID, it's like so limited, and we only like meet probably once a month to like get everybody together. Cause like, well, right now too, because my cousin's baby and we like celebrate monthly. So like that's good.
Okay, so next we'll be talking about education. Why did
Mhm.
you choose to attend UHMC for your studies?
Um, so this particular college or the UH system actually has a very good business program. And you're in the AVID program too. So like
Yes.
you already know. And Schuyler, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but from Manoa, they have a pretty good business program and like accounting and like marketing and all that. So I knew that I wanted to stay here for school for business rather than attending it at UNLV, whereas like their focus is mainly on like hospitality, and I didn't want to do hospitality.
Did you have any other interests before your current major in marketing?
Um, so before marketing, I was taking up interior design at UNLV. And I actually wanted to get into that because I was in the business pathway for Maui High and we had to do floor plans. And I
Mhm.
like the aspect of doing floor plans and creating all these designs for businesses. And that's what made me go into interior design. But then I ended up falling back on marketing because I like the marketing plans and creative side of business more.
If you know, how many classes have you taken marketing and or do you have a favorite that you've taken?
I hmm, I don't even know how many classes I've taken so far. I would say probably 16-ish classes, around that, I think. And so far, my favorite class would probably be, or anything related to business, because I don't think I've taken like the particular marketing class because I can't take it until I transfer to Manoa.
Mhm.
But I would say econ. That was okay. But like,
Okay.
yeah.
Would you recommend your major in marketing to others?
um, I would only recommend it to people who are probably like trying to do something in business and like the creative side. That's why I say like, oh, the creative side of businesses for me because I like to work on like photos or like just making like these plans things for like our visual stuff for other businesses so like they can like have a better brand.
Mhm. If you mentioning that you had other interests in interior design and things like that, how did you decide what you wanted to study? Like, what did you weigh in and out for you to come to your decision?
Um, this was so difficult actually. I spent like the whole winter break contemplating, but I would say it was because it was easier for me to kind of decide because I knew I've always liked business. So like that was already like a huge factor of me like of switching because I knew that I would probably be like knowledgeable and better off with it. So I guess it was like a easier option for me to take and I knew that I could probably go back into interior design whenever I wanted to.
Mhm. What do you plan on doing with your education once you graduate?
After I graduate, I hope to be working at a place that I probably interned at because I've searched some places on Oahu that does internships for marketing and you could like obviously like step up your position into the um the place and I would probably move to Oahu for a little bit or move back to see like and compare like what I like here. But I haven't really searched many places to internship here yet.
Mhm. And oh, you mentioned this already. Um, Is there a specific type of people you would like to work with, like characteristic wise?
I hopefully when like I'm working with like people or the place that I work at too, I like to work with people who can be serious but also like their humor, it needs to be spot on because if we all can't like get along with how we all like react,
Mm-hmm.
it changes the whole aspect of working together. But it's also good to have like a serious, sorry, there's like people outside. It's also good to be able to take things seriously in a workplace and also be able to be comfortable enough to joke around with each other, if that makes sense.
Yes, that sounds good. I wanted to ask you also some questions about your work and career experiences. You stated in your bio sheet that you had an opportunity to do some public speaking at schools and or competitions. Did you
Mhm.
have time to prepare for these presentations?
Yes. So when I was in the business pathway for high school, I forgot what PBA stood for, but it was a competition specifically for business. And me and my partner had to prepare a presentation and do research for uh, like a panel of people. And that was a little nerve-wracking, but we got through it and it was like a good practice round to like trying to see like how it would work for like if you wanted to like do the what is the shark, what is it, do you know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about like DECA stuff?
No, like when you present like
Um,
an idea or a product, what is the shark?
like a pitch?
Oh yeah, it's a pitch but also like it's like a whole program thing, I forget what it's called, but it's like kind of like that. And I also did that for DECA. So it was like I kind of knew how to already like put things together so like people are like more engaged and all that. So it was like, and I was in student council for high school. So I was like okay with everything, but I feel like I could be more confident.
Mm-hmm. On your bio sheet, you also stated that you had three goals for this semester. Your goals were to build confidence, conduct professional interviews, and stay on top of things in this class. Please elaborate on these.
Um, I would say confidence would be like number one of like trying to accomplish because I don't think I'm as confident as I want to be in public speaking. And then the second one is pretty self-explanatory. Oh, wait, what was the second one? Sorry, I forgot what I wrote for the second.
Um, you did conduct professional interviews, but I think you meant build confidence, stay on top of things.
Mm-hmm. And then the third one I would say is something that I really need to work on because I'm still trying to figure out how to balance everything. And I'm like so impacted with like everything that happens around me. It like gets in the way and I'm just like, oh, I'll put this off as last. And I need to like fix that because I don't like having bad habits and it like it breaks me.
Mm-hmm. Those are some good goals. You also stated in your bio sheet that you work at Stingrays and that you're a server. What is the best part of your job? Do you enjoy it?
I okay, serving, oh my gosh, it is a lot when like people are like all over the place. But I think what I like about my job is socializing with my coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when you're talking to like all the customers, it can be a little overwhelming because it is at an airport already and it's like stressful for them. So you're like trying to ease everybody to like being comfortable and just like trying to relax before their flight and all that.
So you mentioned that you enjoyed the socializing. How many people do you work with on average?
Um, I would say probably like eight, 8 people. We have like a couple cooks, a couple bartenders, and like servers. So like six, and then like a manager on board, and then with me it'd be like eight. So like 7 other people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What was your first impression when you were given the job of server? Because you mentioned it was due to position replacement.
Mm-hmm. So this was supposed to be a summer job. So I worked as their grab and go, and it was like this little convenience like store thing on the side of their restaurant. And I aside from like doing like that and like bringing up people, I helped bus like the servers tables and like run their food and all that. So I kind of had an idea of what like a server was doing. I just didn't like talk that much to their tables, whereas like for the grab and go it's like everything's fast. Like you only see the people like for like at most 5 minutes, whereas like people are sitting in and like doing like they're like socializing for like an hour or so. So my manager asked me to be a server because she knew that I would probably be able to like handle it. And then I was like, oh, are you sure? And then next thing you know, I just like kind of like stepped up my position. But while I'm still doing like server, I'm still like having my old position because no one can fill it in. So like I'm taking up more days. And then yeah, this is why my work schedule is kind of like all over the place because they'll like have me fill in for like whoever.
Mhm. Mm, you kind of answered a lot of these questions that I put already. What was your favorite and/or eye-opening experience while working?
Um, it would be that I think that's a good question. People are very helpful, I would say, because when you're like talking to like customers and they're just like asking you questions about like your life, people give very good advice to like how you want to like see the world or like better yourself from like whatever you're doing right now.
Mhm.
And I guess like that's what I like about my job because people give me advice, and
Mhm.
it's like not me just like paying people to give me advice. It's like them just like freely like telling me like, oh yeah, you like this, you could come here, like, and like they're like all over the world. So
Mhm.
it's like you're in a way networking at your own job.
Mhm. Finally, I would like to ask you some questions about your outside interest, if you have any.
Mhm.
What activities are you involved outside of school? And do you plan on joining any campus activities? Maybe something to do with art due to your interest on your bio sheet.
um I wanted to like get more into like socializing at school, but it's kind of like difficult because I don't even know if like many groups or clubs like actually do meet because I don't know the UH like programs as well right now. But when I transfer, I do want to be a part of the club for business at Manoa. But that's the only thing I could think of. But when I was attending UNLV, I did join a sorority, and that was pretty good. But I don't think there's like any other like sororities or frats here. Or in Manoa, I know it's not that big.
Mhm. You listed on your bio sheet that you liked bullet journaling, drawing, writing, painting, and jumping into your creative side. What is your favorite thing to journal and or draw and why?
I really like to bullet journal rather than plan like doing like my planner stuff because I like to list out every single thing when I do like to be like productive. And it's it also challenges me to like trying to figure out like, oh, I like to use like this template, like just creating like different things so that I don't get bored. Like right now I'm pretty sure I'm like getting into painting because like everybody like bought me all these things, and then it's just to like practice how or like what I can create rather than like being like creative, having all these creative blocks in a way.
So the last question is, what has been your most memorable learning experience?
Um, I would say it would be you can stop and start something easily than you think. Because I think it was eye opening to me to transfer and move back here because I would have never expected um to transfer or like move back here because I knew I wanted to be like in the mainland or out of the country. But like I decided to like come back or like stay here, and I everybody knew that I was just like, oh, but then I feel like with the pandemic happening right now, it is probably a good decision to stay back because it's easier. But like I don't think you should like have the pandemic or something like that to dictate what you want to do. But I'm just saying like it is easier to stop and start something. Once you really, really want to do something, it's like it really is simple to like just, and it's like I overthink a lot. So I just like contemplate for like hours on end. But like once I like actually decide on something, it's like hard for me to like just put that idea or put that down.
Well, that is it. It has been a pleasure to learn more about you. Let me briefly summarize the information I gathered during our interview. You are involved in a lot of different things in your daily life. You like to bullet journal, you like to draw, paint, and just jump into your creative side. You also are a server in the airport, I'm pretty sure you mentioned, called Stingrays. And you also do a bunch of other things within that business. You plan to pursue a career in marketing and you want to move to Oahu to maybe find a job. Your your hobbies and interests is also what you're involved in. You like to do creative things. I think you also mentioned in your bio sheet that you like to binge watch movies and just relax. I appreciated the time you took for this interview. Is there anything else you think that would help me get to know you better so I can successfully introduce you to our class?
Um, Not anything that I can think of right now, but you can ask me later if anything.
Thank you. I should have all the information I need. Would it be all right to call you later if you have any more questions? You mentioned
Yes.
that. Thank you. I look forward to introducing you to the rest of our class. Thank you so much.
Thank you.